What is mass? The universe's greatest illusion. What if I told you that the world you feel, the solid ground beneath your feet, the weight of your own body, is the universe's most beautiful and profound magic trick? We live our lives surrounded by mass. We feel it. We measure it. We complain about it when we step on a scale. We think we understand it, but we don't. Not really. We're like an audience watching a master magician, seeing the rabbit come out of the hat, but having no clue about the hidden compartment, the secret movements, the sheer artistry behind the illusion. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain. We're going to explore the greatest secret of the physical world. What is mass? And the answer is stranger, more mystical, and more breathtaking than you can possibly imagine. Let's start with what we think we know. You pick up a rock. It feels solid, dense, real. It has substance. This substance, we're taught, is its mass. It's what makes the rock heavy. It's what makes it hard to throw into the sky. It's the stuff inside it. But what if I told you that this is the first layer of the illusion? If you could peer into the heart of that rock, down to the atomic level, you'd find a shocking truth. You'd find almost nothing. An atom is a tiny ghost of a thing, a miniature solar system with a dense nucleus at the center and electrons whizzing around it at unimaginable speeds. But the distance between the nucleus and the electrons is so vast that if the nucleus were a marble in the middle of a football stadium, the electrons would be gnats buzzing somewhere in the very last row. The rest is empty space, a vacuum. So, if this rock and your hand and everything you see is made of atoms, and atoms are mostly empty space, why does anything feel solid at all? Why can't you just push your hand right through your desk? The answer is the first clue to the mystery of mass. It's not about stuff in the way we think. It's about something else entirely. It's about interaction, a dance of forces. The electrons in your hand and the electrons in the desk are locked in an eternal, invisible push and pull, a force field that creates the sensation of solidity. The mass you feel is the resistance of this field. It's not the resistance of matter, but the resistance of energy. You are not pushing against stuff. You are pushing against a fundamental law of the universe. Now, this thing we call mass wears two masks. It plays two different crucial roles in the cosmic play. And for centuries, we thought these were two different actors. The first mask is the mask of laziness. Officially, we call it inertia. This is the resistance to change. It's what makes a sleeping elephant so hard to wake up and push, and a buzzing fly so easy to swat. The elephant has more of this mysterious property. It resists being moved. It wants to stay at rest. And once it's moving, it resists being stopped. It wants to stay in motion. The second mask is the mask of attraction. This is gravity. The more of this property an object has, the more it pulls on other things, and the more it is pulled. The Earth has a lot of it, which is why you are stuck to its surface. Here's the magical part. These two masks are the exact same face. For reasons that baffled the greatest minds for millennia, an object's laziness, its resistance to being pushed, is perfectly, exactly, mysteriously proportional to its power of attraction, its gravity. Why? Why should these two completely different sounding ideas be linked? It's like discovering that how grumpy a person is in the morning is perfectly proportional to how good they are at baking a cake. The connection makes no sense, and yet it is. This coincidence is one of the most important clues we have ever found. It was the key that unlocked a new understanding of reality for a man named Albert Einstein. He looked at this strange connection and had a revelation of cosmic proportions. He realized that this wasn't a coincidence. It was a fingerprint, the fingerprint of something much deeper. Imagine the universe is not a void. Imagine it is a vast, invisible, flexible fabric, a cosmic trampoline. We can call this fabric spacetime. It's the very stage upon which the drama of reality plays out. Now, place a heavy object on this trampoline, a star, a planet. What happens? It creates a dip, a curvature. The fabric warps. Now, take a smaller object, say a marble, and roll it near this dip. It won't roll in a straight line. It will spiral inward, caught in the curve created by the heavier object. From our perspective, it looks like the heavy object is pulling on the marble with an invisible force. But that's the illusion. The marble is simply following the shortest path along the curved stage. Gravity, then, is not a force in the traditional sense. It is the geometry of the stage itself. And what creates the dip? Mass. Mass and energy are what tell space-time how to curve. They are the directors, shaping the stage. And your inertia? That feeling of being pushed back into your car seat when you accelerate? That's you resisting moving from your straight line path on this curved stage. You are, in that moment, struggling against the geometry of the universe itself. So, mass is not just a property in the universe. It is a property of the universe. It is a sculptor of the very dimensions we live in. This brings us to the ultimate question. If mass is this cosmic sculptor, this phantom of substance, where does it come from? What gives an electron, a quark, a speck of dust, this incredible power? For a long time, we had no answer. It was just a given, a brute fact of existence. But in the 20th century, we began to see the wizard behind the curtain. And the first thing we discovered was the most shocking alchemy of all. Mass and energy are one and the same. This is perhaps the most famous idea in all of physics, but we rarely feel its true mystical weight. It means that mass is not just related to energy. It is energy. Mass is energy that has been concentrated, focused, and sleeping. Think of energy as pure, vibrant, ethereal light. Mass is that light that has been convinced to take a nap. It has condensed, gone quiet, and in doing so, it has taken on the property of substance. It has become tangible. This is not a metaphor. This is literal reality. In the hearts of stars, tiny amounts of mass are transformed back into unimaginable bursts of pure energy, lighting up the cosmos. And in our most powerful machines, we do the reverse. We take pure, violent energy, the energy of motion, and we smash it together with such fury that this energy condenses, materializes, and becomes brand new particles of mass that did not exist moments before. We are not creating matter from nothing. We are transforming the fundamental essence of the universe from one form to another. We are waking up the sleeping light. This is the ultimate magic. Creation and destruction are two sides of a single, shimmering coin. But this still leaves a question. How does this energy become mass? What is the process? What is the secret ingredient? Imagine the entire universe. Every cubic inch of what we call empty space is not empty at all. It is filled with an invisible, ethereal substance, a cosmic syrup. We call this the Higgs Field. Now, imagine different fundamental particles moving through this syrup. Some particles, like the photon, the particle of light, are like Olympic swimmers in perfectly still water. They don't interact with the syrup at all. They slice through it without a single drop sticking to them. They feel no resistance, and so they have no mass. They travel at the ultimate speed limit of the cosmos, the speed of light. Other particles are different. Think of the quarks that make up the protons and neutrons in your body. They are like you and me trying to walk through a crowd at a busy concert. We interact with everyone. We bump into people. It's hard to get moving, and once we're moving, it's hard to stop. We are dragging the crowd with us. That drag, that resistance, that is mass. The Higgs field is what gives the fundamental building blocks of matter their substance. It's the thing they interact with that makes them slow down, that gives them heft, that makes them real. Without it, electrons would zip away at light speed, atoms could never form, and you and I would simply not be here. We proved the existence of this field by creating the most powerful scientific instrument in history, a ring of fire deep underground, and we made this cosmic syrup ripple. We created a splash, and we saw it. We called that splash the Higgs boson. It was the signature of the field, the first time we ever directly touched the mechanism that gives reality its solidity. The greatest trick of all, you are made of nothing. But here is the final twist, the most beautiful part of the trick. Let's take a proton, one of the building blocks of your body. It's made of 3 tiny quarks, and the Higgs field gives these quarks a tiny, tiny bit of mass. But if you add up the mass of those 3 quarks, you get less than 1% of the total mass of the proton. Less than 1%. So, where is the other 99% of your mass coming from? Where is the other 99% of you? The answer is pure magic. Inside that proton, the 3 quarks are not just sitting there. They are trapped in a mad dance. They are whizzing around at nearly the speed of light, bound together by an unimaginably powerful force, carried by particles called gluons. It is a tornado of pure energy, a micro-universe of frantic, violent motion. And according to the great alchemy, energy is mass. The mass of your body, the mass of the earth, the mass of everything you see around you, is not the mass of the tiny, solid specks inside the atoms. It is the mass of the energy of their motion. It is the mass of the force fields that bind them together. It is the mass of the relationship between things. You are not made of stuff. You are made of trapped light. You are made of motion. You are made of connection. You are a whirlwind of energy, given shape and substance by an invisible field that permeates all of space, dancing on a curved stage that you yourself are helping to sculpt. That is mass. It is the ghost in the machine, the dream of energy, the silent, invisible architect of reality. It is the reason we are here, and the reason the cosmos has shape and form. It is both the question and the most astonishing answer. The universe is so much stranger and more wonderful than it appears. If this journey into the heart of reality captivated you, if you want to help us pull back more curtains, then do me a huge favor. Smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next adventure into the unknown. And I want to hear from you. What part of this mystical nature of mass blew your mind the most? Was it the idea that you're mostly empty space? That mass and energy are the same? Or that you are literally made of motion? Let me know in the comments below. The conversation is my favorite part. And if your hunger for a deeper understanding of this holographic, interconnected universe is still burning, I've written a book that dives even further down the rabbit hole. It's called Holographic Multiverse, and it explores how every piece of the cosmos, from the smallest particle to the largest galaxy, might be a projection of information on a distant boundary. It's a wild ride. If you're interested, the link is in the description below. Thank you for watching. Remember, the world is not what it seems. Keep questioning.